We get into this evening's live, I would like to touch base on what has transpired so far on a very volatile day in the cryptocurrency market. Right now, XRP is still it's a within the same area as yesterday. We did go down to about $2.15 roughly, and we went as high as about $2.42 today, right around there. So we've had a pretty much up and down, and we found ourselves pretty much in the middle of that move. Bitcoin had a volatile swing today, well, yesterday into today, and now into this evening before the close. Bitcoin was at 96,000 for most of the day yesterday. Then all of a sudden it surged to about 104K, took out the several $billion in liquidity that we had talked about yesterday in the live and the day before as well. But there was a massive liquidity zone. So we've been trying to take advantage of the massive liquidity zones for trades, and we got to take advantage of the Bitcoin one again. And then obviously this morning you guys can do your own understanding of when you need to buy and sell your stuff. I'm not a financial advisor, but there was an opportunity there. XRP right now holding up that $2.22 level is critical. If we don't want to have a back test of $1.98, if we fall below 222, we at least have to hold that $2.14 uptrend that we'll go over here during this live. I want to go over a few different things as well, and I'll continue hammering this point home about what the Wall Street analyst said. They said it's selling XRP now is like selling shares of Berkshire Hathaway in the early days. We'll talk about how XRP lost the third spot, or loses third largest crypto spot as the Ripple RLUSD stablecoin obviously didn't go on yesterday, which we understood because no decision's been made. It hasn't been cleared yet, so can't really do anything there. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse hails Trump's Security and Exchange Commissioner, the new SEC chair appointment, let's just say. And then I want to talk about this. I see a lot of the Fibonacci, but I think this is pretty interesting. So the Fibonacci levels indicate XRP price rally will continue for about an 80% upsurge. What you need to know. So we'll get into that as well. Obviously, this is a report that I've kept up here because this is some of the news that was going around a couple days ago. But that is what some of the big attention is right now on Ripple. And I have something I want to go over with Ripple because I think it's fascinating with XRP and the RLUSD stablecoin on how this could transpire. And if we think about it outside the box here, not just that RLUSD is going to be used by Ripple to pump XRP, but we're going to go over a scenario here where the price of XRP is going to be majorly influenced on the RLUSD stablecoin. And I'm going to give you a reason why. I'm going to give you an interesting scenario on why the price would have to come up because of what would end up in turn. It doesn't seem like it, but would become scarcity with the XRP tokens purely because in order to hold the RLUSD stablecoin, you have to transact through XRP. So that means that we'll go over some of this because I find it fascinating. I'll turn the comments on in a second, but I want to make sure that I get through all my thoughts without being interrupted so that everybody knows exactly what to expect. You'll start to see now some of the viewers die down today, and it's going to be interesting for some of you who are newer, but you're going to start to see the attention start to dwindle now. This is what we need. When there's 400, 500, 600 people watching, market's a little too hot. When you start to see it dribble under 150, you're starting to get somewhere. So we'll see what kind of attention we have today. But right now with the market coming down from 292 for XRP down to 228, the ironic part is if you've been in this since the bear market bottom around anywhere between 28 and 45.50, you're good. But if you're in there anywhere near where I bought on this show at 34, and I only emphasize that so you understand what I'm holding. So when you ask me if you should buy it here or there, I can only give you my analysis on my own basic fundamental understanding of what I'm observing. So right now we're sitting here and we're able to watch this retrace. We're able to watch this do what it needs to do. And even if we wanted to bail, it's not something that I want to do because I see what's building here. I understand. I can see what's happening here with the RLUSD and everything and I'm going to go over a big part of this, but I can see what's going on here and what's going to end up transpiring and how they're going to squeeze the little guy out of being able to even afford XRP. And I'm going to tell you about a scenario that I think is very much going to play out here shortly. And I'm going to talk about it very quickly here when we start. So make sure to hit that like button. Actually, you know what? Don't even worry about that. You do what you want. If you appreciate what I do, you can always hit the like button or subscribe to the channel. But if not, there's no reason for you to hit it. You know, that's pretty selfish of me to ask you to do it if you're not enjoying what you're doing. So, you know, that's obvious. So, and then another thing I want to talk about, and I've been debating for a long time to talk about this, but I found it to where if I don't talk about it now and it has a surge to 40 or 50, I'm going to be so disappointed in myself for not talking about it. But NMR, it's an AI token, and we're going to go over some of the stuff. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. The only vested interest I have in this is that I've been buying it, and my average right now is around 1747, but I've even bought some more when it dipped yesterday down to, I think it was like 2170. So I'm actively still buying this token, and it's an AI token, and it's an algorithm with top scientists around the world. And basically what it does is it predicts financial markets. And it's fascinating when you see it. It's only got less than 130 million tokens, and most of them are in circulation. But it's a fascinating, and I've been looking at different algorithms right now because they're going to take over here in this next cycle as well. This one has just been fascinating me for like 2 months, and I just can't get it out of my head. So I did not buy it when it was at $10 or $11, but I was intrigued enough to start buying it when it was started to get around 14. But then I kept buying it even when it got up to, like I said, my most recent purchase is around 22. So it's not something that, well, we'll just go over it. I think it's friggin' fascinating. And then AMP, again, an easy printer of money. Easy printer of money. AMP is almost going to single-handedly pay for my new Windows. I've already put away like $4,000 in the last 7 days from AMP into my crypto debit card on crypto.com. I just profits, sell out the trade, and I always hold 100,000 after I sell it out. Then I rebuy back in whatever I want. Right now I'm about 200,000 again. I see a massive inverse head and shoulders here on AMP. So is it going to continue printing money? Last night, like Tanya mentioned, I don't know if she's in here, but she made a comment in my video earlier. AMP, it was the easiest $300 or $400 she ever made because we watched the retracement, and after the big up, AMP always gives back like 75 or 80%. It's the history now. We see it over and over. Look, up, give it all back. Up. This time it held off pretty good, but still gave a big part back. Up, giving a big part back. Now it's creating a big inverse head and shoulders, it looks like. So AMP's another one that we must watch, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting what's going on here because there's a lot of opportunity. And I circumvented my sale on B2 Gold. It sold out because I had a stop loss. I always put marginal numbers in, but I circumvented myself and I rebought it at 269. And I actually added 200 more shares than I had. Like I have like 3,600 now because I can see what's going to happen in the commodities market. They're going to start beating this down, and that could be a big M-topping reversal. So that's why I start out by saying, like, there's opportunity. And if it gets down here to 229, 230, I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to fully take advantage of this until it gets to where it needs to go. Because there's an argument to be made that there's a big inverse head and shoulders setting up here. And this is a descending wedge forming. So if that's a descending wedge forming right here, look out when it finally breaks out of here. You know, that's all I could say about that. You could say it's more like this maybe, and then kind of like this. I mean, you could try to hit the outer edges here, but I don't know, man. That looks like it's getting close to like the breakout point here, so we'll see what happens there. And then like XRP Healthcare, if you missed the ride the first time and you weren't able to do anything, I would take a serious look at what kind of consolidation is going on here. And I understand it's not at 2 cents right now and it's still at 14 cents. But look at this. This looks like, and if I break this down like this, and this is what I was speculating earlier to do, but then I said I'm going to wait for everybody in the audience to get here. If you break it like this, I mean, almost looks like a descending wedge was formed here as well. And if that's the case, that's a back test. These are huge bullish reversals. So I don't know what's happening here, but we'll see if it plays out or plays down, because one of two things can happen. This is going to bounce off of this, or we're going to get a retest, you know, into the consolidation zone. And that's going to be pretty interesting because the consolidation zone got this uptrend like this. Now, you know, that's not so unfeasible, actually. Look how close it is to it. So what we're going to see. So just pay attention to that. I'm not going to talk much about that today. Just like I didn't talk a lot about it. Look at all these sales that are going on. Like, oh my God, that's what it was. There was another XRP healthcare thing. It ran down the thing. Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. They released something. Oh, what they were talking about. I think it was on their I'm sorry, I'm excited this evening. And without putting the comments up yet, I can actually, kind of go through this for a second and get my thoughts together, and then we'll get into everything. But they put something out. What was it today? Hold on. I think it was on here. Yes, right here. So I'm going to do the intro and then I'm going to read this real quick. So, good evening. 6:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, December 5th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. And you're going to see why I'm looking to get even longer in this token. I really, really am. It's just the price needs to come down like, oh man, I wish it would come back down to where because I found avenues where I can. So anyhow, understanding XRP healthcare and the power of token scarcity. Many successful blockchain projects share a key feature, a limited token supply. XRPH with its 100 million token cap follows this model. Let's examine similar projects and how tokenomics played a role in their growth. So NEO, total supply 100 million, all-time high $198.38. NEO, known as the Ethereum of China, focused on decentralized applications and digital identities. Its cap supply contributed to a scarcity model that complemented its adoption. Loopring, LRC, total supply 100 million, all-time high is $3.83. Look where they're looking at here, folks. They're telling you, don't be so short-sighted. Loopring developed a decentralized exchange protocol prioritizing efficient and secure trading. Its limited supply reinforced its utility-driven value in the market. OMG Network. Total, and we remember this in 2021 when it went ballistic. Total supply 100 million. All-time highs 28.35, so $28.35. OMG provided solutions to Ethereum scalability challenges that capped supply aligned with its technical advancements and increasing adoption. So XRPH in context. XRPH also operates with a total supply of 100 million tokens, but its focus is unique. Healthcare. Unlike NEO, Loopring, or OMG, XRP Healthcare is centered on addressing inefficiencies in the trillion-dollar healthcare industry, making it one of the few blockchain projects with a direct focus on improving access and affordability in this critical sector. The XRPH Prescription Savings Card, the XRPH Prescription Savings Card, is partnered with leading U.S. pharmacies including Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens, and is accepted at over 68,000 pharmacies nationwide, offering up to 80% savings on medications. This card is a practical step toward reducing medication costs for millions, integrating blockchain with a critical everyday need. Other key areas of focus for XRPH: healthcare, mergers and acquisition utility, facilitating mergers and acquisitions to optimize healthcare systems in undeserved regions, or underserved, not undeserved, but underserved regions. AI integration, streamlining healthcare operations, enhancing accessibility, and improving outcomes through predictive analytics and personalized care. Projects with cap supplies like NEO, OMG, and Loopring have demonstrated how scarcity can complement real-world utility. XRPH's healthcare-centric approach adds another dimension to blockchain's potential. By focusing on healthcare, XRPH provides an example of how blockchain can tackle global challenges beyond finance and trading. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not looking at this project in the pennies. Yeah, it's great that it went up to like 40 cents or whatever. You could have got 40. When it went up, good luck trying to even sell it when it was that high, because you'd topple it down. But I'm looking at this not in the cent. I'm looking at this in like dollars and tens of dollars. I don't want to say how much, but I'm looking at this, let's just say, as tens of dollars. Let's just put it that way. Tens of dollars when the time is right. So understanding we bought at 1.72 cents, if it goes to tens of dollars, the XRP ecosystem is going to make me very, very wealthy, man. And it already has started to make me a very, very wealthy, in terms of where I started. So that's why I wanted to give you that little fundamental understanding of XRP healthcare. And just sometimes it's got to be a long vision, folks. Sometimes it's got to be a long vision. And this one for me is a much longer vision than most. So with that being said, let me turn on comments. Hopefully that sat well, about 30% likes that. You know, it is what it is. Let me see if there's any comments of note that I need to get to, especially, let's see. 777 DW Brown, thank you for the $5 donation. Hey Tom, I know you know who I am and how much XRP I have. Would you buy low caps to roll profits back into XRP or just sit tight, not touch? I mean, that's a tough question. I would say the low caps aren't a bad option, but understanding like some of the options are up 800 to 1,000% right now makes it interesting. Like if you want to go with the one that's, fuck, this is such a tough question because you have a significant portfolio compared to most. Jasmine is the Bitcoin of Japan. I think it's got huge potential. I think it's got huge potential. Oh, I'm not telling anybody whether they should hold or sell. That's the wrong question to ask me. I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't know your personal situation. You have to decide whether or not you want to sell. Like for me, I've done what I need to do as far as how I strategically make profits in bull markets. So, like I've already pulled just from swing trading, as some of you have watched. Like AMP has made me like $3,000 or $4,000 the last like 2 weeks, not even last week, and that gets pulled. You know, there's other things that I've got. I've got like I wanted a window fund, and I want to fix my kitchen up. I want to remodel my kitchen because I bought my house last year. I've already got $14,000 for the windows on my crypto debit card through Visa that Crypto.com has. Like you can put your crypto into it if you want, and then you got the money there. So as far as buying or selling right now, you have got to make that educated decision. Like 99% of people didn't want to listen when it was at 34. So I don't know why you'd want to listen now where to sell. Like you got to make the decision where to buy in. So I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that. Yeah, B, that's unfortunate because I'm noticing that it's only working on the app. If you download the app and you do it, it works. But unfortunately, we don't have very many options here in the USA with a lot of things. We get blocked more than I think a lot of people realize in buying certain things, unfortunately. It's an unfortunate thing, but I've got so much stuff to get through. Let's continue here. I do appreciate everybody. I really, really appreciate everybody. Yes, no emotion. You can't take this from an emotional standpoint. Otherwise, you know, you can get hit pretty hard. But the only other thing I need to do when I first start, I promise that for members of Tom's Army, if any new members join, or if anybody has re-upped today, only for today, I will make sure to recognize them. But anything short of that, you know, I gotta do it in the interest of time. Will I be shaving? Well, I mean, if it gets to $10, maybe. But it's going to be a sacrifice here until it gets to where I want it to go. I don't know. I don't know. I'm undecided. So let's see. So yeah, we've had some movement today. So I do have to recognize a few people. I have to make sure to do this every day. So, Janzi, thank you so much for re-upping in Tom Army today for your first month. Wow, there's been a lot of things happening today. Rejoined in Tom's Army for your second, now it's your second month here, your first rejoin. We've got Louisville rejoined today for 28th month. Thank you so much for that. Blanken, thank you so much for joining Tom's Army today for your first month. That is incredible. Philip Glatfelter, thank you for joining Tom's Army today as well for your first month. Chris Allard, thank you for rejoining Tom's Army for your 5th month. Wow, there's a lot of activity today. AUB, thank you for re-upping for your first official month after your first month, so your second month in Tom's Army. And then thank you, last but not least, Donnie Bennett for joining Tom's Army for your first month. I really, really, really appreciate all of you kind folks. I really do. I thank you for paying it forward. That's so appreciative. And then I seen there was a donation as well. Let's see. That's so appreciative. trying to keep up with all this. MC Prosperity, thank you so much for the $20 donation. That is incredibly generous. And we're gonna go over that AI token. We're gonna go over that AI token. And I understand a lot of people want me to go over a lot of different tokens. I simply don't have time. So if you want to assure, and I can state this, if you want to assure that you'll get recognized in the comments, you know, be part of the army. Because if 100 different people are asking me to go to 100 different tokens, I'm going to pick the tokens of people that are paying it forward to my channel. It's just, I wish I could do it another way, but I'm only one person. So let's go over this real quick with XRP. So this is what we're forming right now. It's a descending consolidation. It's either we're forming a very bullish consolidation here, or we're starting our first trend down. Now, we'll know this one of two ways. One, if this uptrend breaks at about 217 in real time, 216, and then we break 214, that would be our first signal we're coming down to $1.98. This very well could be a head and shoulders pattern, or a topping reversal, an M topping reversal. And this very well could be the right shoulder of it. Left shoulder, M, right shoulder. Or it could be a very bullish consolidation here at the first major target of the descending wedge that we broke out, which was 222. We were severely needing a pullback. Now, how far of a pullback we're going to get? Look at it this way. Even if this pattern resets, the first reset's at $1.98. The second reset's around $1.63. So you have a lot of time to decide what you want to do if you're a part of this bull market, and it's just, you don't have the stomach for it. Like you're having an ulcer right now, just watching it go up and down. Maybe you should, you know, just in case it does give it all back and you got to wait again and again. Maybe you should do what you got to do. But this time around is a little different for me than 2021. And here's the reason why. With the RLUSD stablecoin, look at it this way. What if with RLUSD, not only does the price appreciate for XRP because it's being used and it's the gas token. If you want to go into RLUSD, how's your money getting to there? Well, most people are going to buy the XRP to transfer it into RLUSD. Like, they've made it a step to where you've got to have XRP to get it. I'm just saying, it's got to use XRP to move it because that's the gas token on the XRP ledger. Whether anybody wants to say other things, that it can be this or that, at the very least, what we have working for us is it's essentially the gas token for fees. Like, this is how we move stuff. So what if in this scenario, now RLUSD comes online, and now we already know that 70 to 80% of the money moved between USDT, which is United States Digital Tether, and USDC, United States Digital Currency. So you've got Tether and Circle. 70 to 80% of all that capital that was moving, and it was bought up by Ripple so that they could send by XRP to their clientele because they have multi-millions and billions of dollars moving. 70% of the money that was being used by USDT and USDC was Ripple. That's why I decided to make the RLUSD stablecoin. Why make Ripple or Tether and USDC? Why keep affording them the opportunity to do exactly what they're going to do, which is artificially pump up XRP, but also at the same time, you're going to have to allocate XRP to some of these little transfers in RLUSD. So now maybe there's 50 billion tokens, or what is it, 30-something billion tokens that are left, right? Or 40 billion tokens. What if, because the price is so low right now, what if they've got a few, I don't know, $400 or $500 million accounts, a couple $100 million accounts? There are billionaires out there that are going to be using this system. What if this happens? If that happens, now you might have to allocate 20 million tokens at this price. If somebody had $100 million they're trying to allocate, well, maybe now you have to seclude, 50 million tokens here for the transfer. So it could end up becoming, a situation where you have a lot of scarcity that doesn't meet the eye. And then with the RWAs, the real world assets coming via tokenized gold and silver that we already know is confirmed, there's going to be an issue right now with XRP at some point where everything's just it's going crazy. Now, some people saying selling it's going to $1.90. Okay, that's fine. You want to sell some here and buy back at $1.90? I'm going to tell you something right now. Now you've had the tax hit. So now if you bought at 42 cents, you're going to sell it. Let me just play this out. $2.20. You're going to sell at $2.22, buy back at $1.90. Take that tax hit and then buy it, and it'll likely just run right past you. I'm trying to understand the logic. Because if you're going to do that, why buy at $1? You know, then again, $1.90 is not terrible. I can understand that logic. But why do you want to end up paying the taxes if you're not ready to get rid of XRP? Like, are you just trying to sell it so that you can get extra XRP back? That's a strategic plan that you can use. But I have a better one. You know, in bear markets, allocate enough to where you don't have to worry about buying and selling until you're ready. Because what if this is a head and shoulders and you just buy back into a dump? Well, now you might have sold some to pay for taxes, but now what you rebought back in, and understand you have to have money allocated for taxes. There's fees on the exchanges. So now when you buy back in, what if it just goes down from there? Now you're like, holy shit, now I'm up here on this one, but on these new purchases, I'm on 18%. What am I going to, now I'm going to sell this? You know, so if you want to sell, that's fine. I'm just saying that's something you have to consider. Now, not all of you are in the USA, so it might not be the same. So, and then somebody mentioned, especially on Ethereum as well. You know, RLUSD is also on the Ethereum network. William, thank you for not only being in Tom's Army for 6+ months, but also for sending the $1 donation. I greatly appreciate that, my friend. IQ in the chat. Thank you. So, but it's pretty obvious that we have a big topping reversal here if it breaks down. Right? That's what we have to pay attention to. Is this breaking down, or is this just filling out a pattern like we talked about yesterday? And if it's filling out a pattern like we talked about yesterday, this move was warranted down to fill out the pattern. And now you could create a big W here if that's the case, or a triple bottom, but who the heck knows? I've been holding since 38 cents, but I'm sick of the market. Oh, yeah. The market manipulation, but how do you think we got to where we're at right now? That very market manipulation that you're sick of. See, we're sick of it when it takes eons for it to move. But when it moves up 500% in 3 weeks, there's nothing more than market manipulation that made that happen. The institutions are buying in, but something had to make it happen. Yes, I had higher high and higher low. Absolutely. 38 cents is the golden cross. You must be talking about XLM. And if this isn't a pennant flag, as we talked about earlier, if it breaks down 36, it's right around here, 37.5 cents is the money buy. So yeah, whoever said 38 cents. XRP now bearish momentum after for December 50. Oh yeah, this is the bearish part of it. This is where you're going to get the separation. So now, the other scenario here, if it's falling down, you can see it's giving us another, you know, maybe it is going to come all the way out. And it looks like it's more than likely going to do that because we had 3 fake out attempts to the top. And now if it comes down, I mean, maybe it isn't a wide falling channel here. It looked like a pennant flag could be setting up, but if it falls out, now you got to figure out, well, there's X marks the spot right here from the uptrend and this downtrending support that seems to be forming a little bit here. So I don't know. We'll see if we hold this section or not. But it's going to be a very interesting ride here, one way or the other. Very interesting. Now, before I forget, I do want to talk about, especially with it not going way up today, I want to talk about NMR real quick so that everybody can see what the hell I was talking about. Then we're going to go into that article with the Fibonacci. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about here. And like I said, my average right now is like 1778 or 1787. I always put it backwards or forward. But I just bought some at 22 and some change, so this is not out of my area of interest right now. And I think this is fascinating. I really do. I think, okay, let me just do it this way. NUM. And when I read through this, maybe some of you can, you know, you can heighten my understanding maybe if you understand this. But first I want to start with the circulating supply, and then I'm going to go into some info. So, oh yeah, it was 7.6 million was the circulating supply. 7.6 million is the circulating supply. So very low circulating supply. Total, whoops. Like, I have no vested interest other than, like, no one's paying me to say this. I have no sponsors of this show. So this is my free understanding if you're new. You know, this is what so the market rank is 440. So the total circulating supply, has a circulating supply of 700 or 7.3. So anyhow, let's see. Because this is fascinating. Well, this is going back to 2017. I don't know if I want to go back that far. Let's see. He always backs down from what he says. Did you look at band protocol time? Why can't I believe you're going to see the... I'm not sure. I must have missed some comments. No, it did not. It did not do anything. That's what I'm saying. It's undervalued, but I know that this is going back. But I don't want to actually read through all of that. It's freaking an interesting one. So I need to find the right part. So Numeric is a blockchain-based software that acts as a hedge fund and combines incentivization with artificial intelligence, machine learning, cryptography, and data science to predict the stock markets and allow users to trade equities. Numeraire AI has 2 applications within its software, with each app supporting a different kind of trading. Numeraire AI Signals is where stock market strategies are uploaded to support a certain trading style or a specific stock. Numeraire AI Tournament, on the other hand, allows users to upload trading algorithms as a weekly competition. Any network participants can bet on the most likely outcome based on user submissions. Numeraire NMR, the utility token for the platform, acts as the main payment method and is also used for staking on the outcomes based on market predictions. NMR is used as an incentive to reward participants in the tournament app, blah, blah, blah. Software is hosted on the Ethereum network. So how does it work? The Numeraire AI software uses erasure protocol to ensure that users are incentivized for staking their NMR. If a user stakes NMR on the correct outcome based on the chosen prediction model, the protocol rewards the user with NMR tokens. If the user stakes their NMR on the wrong outcome, erasure protocol destroys their staked NMR. The software itself operates as an AI aggregator called the meta model and employs algorithmic trading. The system incorporates all submissions from users who can upload their prediction models. The Numeraire AI software then acts as a hedge fund and trades equities based on the chosen prediction model. Trades are executed in the stock market while all prediction models are accessible by any user through Numeraire AI Signal and Tournament app. So the Signal application. So here's the founder. Let's get past that so at least you know what's going on. So the hedge fund software is based on the Ethereum protocol, and it was developed and created by the hedge fund company Numeraire AI. Numeraire was founded in San Francisco, yada, 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 2015, Richard Crabb, blah, blah, blah. Project had 4 separate funding rounds in which the company raised over 21 million. Let's see. The Numeraire AI company issued 1 million MRR tokens and distributed the coins to data scientists who previously participated in tournaments. The main goal behind the project is to allow users to trade equities through an automated model based on AI, machine learning, data science, and cryptography. I feel like this is the future of hedge funds. I feel like this is like something that's going to end up being something more. Like, you're not going to see like a Charles Schwab or a Merrill Lynch. You're going to end up seeing like this AI garbage. And I think this is one of them that is showing you exactly what's going to end up happening. I think it's pretty interesting. Like, you can look through this, and yeah, it didn't have a very good run last one. That's why it was intriguing to me. That's why it's intriguing to me. So you can do your own research. But we got to read through more. I know that probably, I don't know how many people would be interested in that, but that's just something, and it's on the red tag list. So that's when you got to do your own research. But right now, I'm hoping that this is a little bit of a channel here and that it just comes back down to my $17 level. Like I was not done buying this, and then it just decided to do this little channel here. It finished this little cup here, which is why I thought maybe I should talk about it, but it's got a higher level at 29 that it could have very easily come up to. But watching this is how I have it set up. And you can go all the way back here to this uptrend, and it's been in this for a very long time. So going back to 2019, if you go from the price of 2019, it's done basically nothing. Well, I mean, 600% isn't exactly nothing. But if you understand, like, how high this thing is, it almost looks like XRP before it had to break up. Like this looks like it wants to break up to these levels here to start competing with these. Like XRP had a similar consolidation and ended up here. You know, this is massively undervalued from a long-term perspective. So, NMR, where do you buy it? I buy it on BITUNIX. So actually two choices. It depends how you want to approach it. I was going to buy it on BITUNIX. I apologize. But because I'm verified on crypto.com, I decided to buy it on there so that I could just let it sit as I was buying it. So I actually was initially, that's where I was initially. But you can buy it on BITUNIX if you don't want to do a KYC or VPN and just trade it and hold it. BITUNIX, obviously. Crypto.com, you can do it as well. From a fee perspective, it'll probably be cheaper to do it on BITUNIX, though, to be honest. So NMR, somebody said, is on Coinbase. I can't vouch for that. I've never used the exchange. I can only talk about what I've used. I don't want to promote something I don't know of. But I understand what Coinbase is. So somebody from the audience says you can even buy it there if you have an account. So Flare has this feature native to its layer 1. Yeah, but Flare has many tokens, which is the big difference. I'm fascinated by the 7 million tokens. You know, Flare, and I don't hate Flare. I get free Flare every month for holding XRP. Flare, NMR, yeah, I didn't know it was on Uphold. I can't do the fees on Uphold anymore. Not saying that it's not for, you know, some people, everybody's different. What is the circulating supply of Flare token? 52.8 billion tokens. So, I mean, it's something, and that's just going to continue to get bigger because they give them for free. So yeah, that's that. I wanted to make sure I talked about that this evening. We talked about, I believe, AMP this evening I wanted to talk about, as it's still in this very big setup, that it's still yet to come up and touch that area. But we've got to get past this resistance once we get past 1.4 cents, approximately 1.46, we've got a big move up to 2.1, which will happen eventually. It's going to happen. Just a matter of when. It's so undervalued, AMP. It's so far down. VELO in Canada. I think in Canada you can use HOTCOIN if I'm not mistaken. You should be able to use HOTCOIN just fine. That's in the video description. If you go to my homepage, this is where I buy VELO. So go to my homepage on YouTube or my video description below and just click here. HOTCOIN is where I buy VELO. So VELO, IOTA, I buy on HOTCOIN. BITUNIX, I hold my AMP. Crypto.com, I have my NMR. I just didn't talk about it before because sometimes I won't talk about things until I'm ready. So I don't say it's in my portfolio until I'm ready for everybody to be. Because then I know people are going to try to buy it. That's why I keep hesitating on talking about the AI one. Because it goes against everything I normally buy. Because I usually just do ISO and IoT. It is part of the framework. But it's obviously, it's a different sector. It's part of the AI, the artificial intelligence, which I've been deeply looking into. And that's the one that's intrigued me the most, if I'm being honest.
Someone named Frank Durkin said they have a crazy find.
What's the crazy find, Frank? So then on crypto.com, I have my XLM, my DGB, my ZIL, VChain, HBAR, and the NMR. So, and then LBank, you know, if you can use it, you can, but I noticed a lot of IP issues for the USA. Oh, I can talk about DGB, absolutely, Alice. You have more than me, Devin. I have 117,000 right now, roughly. Yeah, but see, I don't trust Coinbase because of what happened a few. That's the only reason I don't advise on Coin. I can't do it. You've been scoping up or scooping up AI projects. Yeah, William, I think that's not a bad idea. It's gonna have its moment, and I don't think AI is going anywhere. I don't think so. If you're willing to invest in Tesla at 300 and something dollars times 10 because it's had reverse splits many times, I would definitely so looking at Tangem Ring 2. Interesting. Oh, you can do it right from the Zaman wallet. All you have to do is send a screenshot. I do it from the Zaman wallet. To send a screenshot to Flare, you just have to build a trust between Flare, send the screenshot, and it gets allocated to you. AI fantastic play. I think so. CSC on the XRP ledger. That's a good one. That's a good one, Rick. That's definitely a good one. That's a good one, actually. I'm going to write that one down. CSC, because that is on the ledger, and you can buy that off of the Zaman wallet, too. Oh, it's so great on the DEX on the Zaman wallet. That's one thing I do appreciate about it. The reason I put my XRP onto the ledger is because I wanted the opportunity to trade off the ledger with the DEX, too. So, it's, so CSC. Don't trust any exchanges. Get a cold wallet, guys. I mean, yeah, there's a certain extent to that absolutely. You got to find an exchange, though. Huh. You got to find an exchange, though, if you're going to have that. It backs in the USA, that it's backed FDIC, and you got to watch the fine print. There's a few companies in the USA that have the proper paperwork that you have $250,000 backed by the Federal Depositors Insurance. So that's backed by the U.S. government. If they have the right papers, there's only a few crypto exchanges that you can use in the USA that have that. And if you understand where I'm keeping my money, it's one of them. Where I keep my secured one. The only one that I'm verified at for a reason. Ricardo, thank you for the $2 donation. Is this the one you're talking about, the casino coin? I feel like it has to be. I feel like this has to be the one. It's still been in this wild short consolidation. I mean, I feel like the last time I talked about this was in the same kind of consolidation. I'm sure all of it is part of the system. Frank, where's Frank? Ah, crap. I missed Frank again. Hold on, let me get my phone out. I told you, there's so many people talking that as much as I want to get to everything, it's not that I'm not trying to get to all the comments. There's just so many people. Oh, Blanken, yeah, I just talked about you. I think yesterday on live, you were one of them who joined. It was either yesterday or today I talked about you. I go over every single day when I start my live, and I talk about the new members that have joined Tom's Army by going to my YouTube studio. And then I talk about the ones who have re-upped on this day as well. That's fantastic. I really appreciate you doing that. Why would that message? Ripple dump sell time, Ripple dump sell time, Ripple dump sell time. I see why that was blocked. Frank, the Hebrew letters for 666 are super similar to XLM. $666. Oh, listen. When it comes to XRP and XLM, just hear me out. I've said this from the beginning. This is not a cool investment. With XRP, we are directly investing with the WEF, the World Economic Forum. But in this case, when they're taking it all digital, if you bet against the World Economic Forum, that's on you. Like, I'm going to bet with them. I got to bet with them, unfortunately. And I don't want to. And that same thing goes with XLM. Some people say they have better motives. Same people, folks. They're the exact same conditioning. So you might do it in a slightly different way. But I'm just saying you got to accept it. And if you get ahead with the World Economic Forum and you understand what they're doing, hey, 95% of our constituents are going to be flat broke. You know how many people I know in my family that aren't in crypto, and I'm XRP future millionaire? So if I can't get people to buy crypto, and now they want to buy crypto and they're asking when the good prices are, but they wouldn't buy it then, whew. That's where we're at right now. But look at the casino coin. Is this heading for a massive breakout here in the short term? Or is this wild, just in this wild consolidation that seems to never end? Eventually this is going to break. And like there is a huge upside potential here. Like just in the short term, if and when it breaks, because it will eventually to the top side. Oh, it's going to. It's got backing. That doesn't seem like a big move from where it's at, but it is. That is a huge move because then you're starting to almost flip that zero. This is where if something like this were to take off, that's the time when you become rich in an asset. CSC, I can never remember the circulating supply. This is very important for me to always look at this. 65 billion. Okay, so it's got its total supply already circulating. 65 billion tokens doesn't warrant it being down at 0.000. Let's just put it that way. Right now, Doge has like 130 billion. And I understand they have Elon Musk and things like that. I told my family to buy at 50 cents. Exactly. That's trust me. When my dad or people understand how much I had in crypto, just the fact I would have that much money allocated to it, and it wasn't a significant amount, 9,000. They were like, what the? Now it's up 400 or 500% across the board. You know, maybe 300 on some. Some of them are still up 900 or 1,000. You know, so it just depends where it's at. You know, so. But when you're watching it, it's the standpoint of if I'm buying something and I've got to watch it retrace, you can't be buying it on the big candles. You just can't do it. If you buy the big candles, now you're not in control. Like right now, did XRP not have a solid closer over 222? I think so. XDC, I finally, after 6 months of trying to convince HOTCOIN to get XDC, they promised me next week it would be there. Not in the derivatives. I didn't want it on the futures market. I wanted it in spot. They first said futures and I rejected it. I don't want it in the futures. I want it in spot. So, supposedly, they're going to do that. JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon Coin, XCN. Ooh, that's an interesting one as well. But I don't have enough time to go over all this. It's already been, and I haven't even got to my read, 47 minutes. Oh my goodness. So let's get to this. So the Fibonacci retracement level, and what do you guys think? Like, I might be missing something, but is there an AI token that you know? And it, look, like I'm not talking about one that's run 8,000% already. I'm talking about one that maybe it's underperformed. And look, now we're starting to go down here a little bit like we're hoping for. This is where I told you for a reason to take a look at it. I never tell you when it's running too high. But now if it gets a consolidation, maybe we drop to 20. Maybe we drop to 21. Maybe it comes back down here. Maybe it back tests 20, which is where I kind of think it might right now, if it comes down. But I think AI is the way to go here. Like we're on the ICO and IoT, but there's these AI ones that have been sitting around for years. My syndrome is down, my portfolio going up. Yep. Let's see, saw my gains from 290,000 to 226K. Yearly salary right now dipped, not worried. Why? Because, what does that say? Not worried. Why? Because I bought in at 50 cents and hold. Yeah, that's, oh yeah, I've seen my gains go down too. See, you're dealing with another zero. So I've seen my gains go down as well. It's just, I've also seen, if I want to look at it the other way, I've seen my gains go up from, 3,400. And if you want to do it at the 10,000 token level to over 22,000 still. So you've got a lot of room. You're up 20 grand right now, okay? On 10,000 tokens, basically. So there's a lot of room here. Render, Beam, and Destra. Ooh. I like AIOZ, Rose, and Theta. Yeah, Theta is a really good one. Filecoin's another one that's undervalued, but it's getting up there now. Theta is my AI play. Not sure why it is on the AI list, but it is. Because it's part of the AI when it comes to the Internet of Things. It's going to kind of, what's the best way to do it? It's going to streamline some of those services, let's just say. It's going to streamline those services. Let's just say that. But what I'm looking for here, and the reason I talk about this with MMR real quick, is because what if it's building an inverse head and shoulders and I don't say anything and it does something like this? And then you didn't have any of that time to make a decision if it builds something like this. That's what I was afraid of, if I'm being honest. That this was an inverse head and this was a left shoulder, and it gave me enough evidence here that this could build into something like that. So I figured I would talk about it, and then you guys can make an open and honest evaluation. Then we can talk about it. But I'm trying to figure out this AI sector this time around because I know it's going to pop big. I know it is. And the fact they made Elon Musk in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency, it basically sealed the fate. VELO Binance listing. I've heard this with Binance. If that's the case, all of you that are in right now, like I am, are going to be very happy. Very happy. Won't get rich. I turned 120 into 700. Exactly. Some people say you won't get rich, but listen, if you had $3,000 to buy XRP, let's call it 3,500. You had enough to buy 10,000 tokens at 35 cents around where I did. Now, some people say you're not going to get rich. If I told you right now, or how about this, you bought 10,000 tokens for $3,800 when it came to 38 cents, what, 3 months ago? If I told you in 3 months you could turn your 3,800 into 22,000, is that not a change in your wealth? Because I'm assuming if you only have $3,500 to make 22,000, it's probably going to take you 6 to 8 months. And that's not a slap at anybody. I'm being realistic here. So when you talk about, oh, that's not good gains, what about somebody who spent $2,000 and now it turned into 10 or 9? You know, it's sometimes we got to be careful what we're talking about here. You got to start to understand it from all perspectives. That's where I say humility plays a big role here. Earth Meta AI is a new token.
He's almost asleep.
Is he really?
Yeah,
Wow.
7 o'clock. Oh, that's good.
Turbo AI, ask Sean Crothers. That has already taken so big of a route. And Sean was all over that earlier this year. He made me a little bit of money in Turbo. I didn't put as much as I should have. But I've told Sean this before. This guy he turned like $300 or $400 into me for like almost $9,000, $8,000. It was insane. It was insane. It's like the single biggest turnaround anybody in the audience has ever gave me an advice. This thing went ballistic. Ballistic. I don't know how many times I've thanked Sean for that. That's like the single biggest one that somebody said about. And when we did the TA, it's like, holy crap, I just wish I would have allocated $5,000 to it and I would have over 6 figures in just that. I'm being dead serious. It was the way I allocated it. And that one, I did the risk reward. Oh man, was that reward far greater than I even thought possible when I looked at it. I was thinking like a 10x return. I wasn't thinking 3,000-4,000% it started doing, 2,000-3,000. It was crazy. Anyhow, let's see. So I'm gonna wait to see if that builds, but we gotta read this real quick because I gotta get going here shortly. It's already been 52 minutes. Holy crap. But I'm so excited about some of this stuff. So the Fibonacci level indicates XRP price rally will continue for 80% upsurge, what you should know. So the XRP price is currently experiencing corrections after a dramatic 6-week rally. Notably, the XRP price recently peaked at $2.82, reaching its highest level since January of 2018. Before retreating in the past 24 hours, this retreat has seen the XRP price decline by about 12% in the past 24 hours, as the Bitcoin price broke above the psychological 100,000 threshold. Despite the current correction, crypto analyst, I don't care what he has to say, he's wrong all the time. But he does talk about the Fibonacci, so through the Fibonacci levels while also revealing key price targets. Can we just talk about the Fibonacci levels, please? After XRP reaches the 261.8 Fibonacci extension level, this pullback is not unexpected. So this is not unexpected. So this is good. This is what we were talking about. So at least he's on the right track there. So in his post, emphasized bullish momentum remains intact despite the short-term correction. In terms of a price prediction, he highlighted 2 key targets of $2.92 and $3.99, which translates to a 27.5%, 80% increase, respectively, from the current price level. Interestingly, reaching the second price target would see the XRP price breaking above its current all-time highs, and it says 340, but some exchanges are way higher, which has stood for almost 7 years. Although this all-time high price has been elusive for a long time, current market trends and buying momentum Suggests it will be broken before the end of the year. I don't know if it'll be broken before the end of the year, but it definitely seems that it's going to fall. For now, sentiment surrounding XRP remains bullish, and the XRP price rally can resume anytime soon. A significant driver of the optimism is the upcoming launch of Ripple's RLUSD, which is slated to be launched anytime soon. However, there is no slated date for RLUSD's launch as of now, with Ripple recently highlighting that it is waiting for a final approval from the New York State Department of Financial Services, NYDFS. So, awesome. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse hails Trump's SEC chair appointment, and this was another thing I wanted to read. Get this off the list before I leave. And I hope everybody's having a blessed evening. I hope you like this. Why didn't Sue get these type of corrections? They all do it at their own time. Just give it a minute. Outstanding choice. Ripple CEO Garlinghouse hails Trump's SEC chair appointment. So United States President Donald Trump announced on December 4th on a social media platform, Truth Social, that he had picked longtime crypto-friendly Paul Atkins, a former commissioner at the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, to lead the regulatory agency and its next chair. They always recycle the folks. Just remember that. In Trump's Wednesday announcement, he described Atkins as a proven leader. He believes in the promise of robust, innovative capital markets that are responsive to the needs of investors and that provide capital to make our economy the best in the world, yada, yada, yada. I don't care. I just want to hear what Brad Garlinghouse says. So, Ripple CEO Bradley Garlinghouse hailed Atkins' appointment as an outstanding choice. Garlinghouse thinks that Atkins will bring common sense back to commission. Along with Hester Pierce and Mark Udy, it's time to swiftly and definitively end the prohibition era on crypto, restoring freedom of choice, economic growth, and innovation, the Ripple boss added. Current SEC czar Gensler has gained notoriety for his aggressive anti-crypto stance. During his tenure, the regulator unleashed a handful of enforcement actions against prominent crypto companies such as Binance, Coinbase, OpenSea, Kraken, and Consensus. Among others, the SEC also categorized several major cryptocurrencies, including Solana, Cardano, and Polygon Matic as unregistered securities, drawing the ire of most crypto community members. Notably, crypto prices have been soaring following news of Gensler's voluntary exit and Trump's election victory. Moreover, filings for U.S.-listed spot XRP exchange-traded funds ETF surged after his resignation announcement, with Bitwise, WisdomTree, Canary Capital, and 21 Shares all submitting applications to the SEC. Meanwhile, ahead of the incoming regulatory leadership transition, 18 states have lodged a lawsuit against the SEC and its current commissioners, including Gensler, over its crackdown on the crypto industry. Lots to look forward to in the coming days. Thank you all so much. It's been a spectacular live. 57 minutes, exactly what I wanted. Make sure to hit that like button. Only 188 out of 326. I don't talk about it anymore, but please, if you appreciate what I do, hit that like button and, help push the word out here a little bit. Have a blessed evening. Like Julie said, the holiday spirit. We didn't do very well, though. 65